Welcome home to Homespun, a weekly internet gathering of family, friends, and businesses from Platte County. Our purpose is to connect our community and showcase the colorful threads that run through our tapestry. Grab a warm cup of hometown goodness, sit back, put your feet up, and visit with us a while. I'm your host, Mark DeLapp, and I bring to you portions of interviews from some of our own. Welcome home, Platte County, to Homespun. Well, we're here on location at the Rafters MB Arena and Quarter Horse Ranch, and it's just such a pleasure to be here with Myrle and Birgit. And I always say that wrong, don't I? Did I say that right that time?
That's close enough.
That was close enough.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it, Myrle?
Birgit.
Birgit.
Yep, as in get beer.
Okay, well, you two have owned this ranch for 3.5 years?
Yep.
And tell me a little bit, Myrle, where you came from and how did you come to Rafters and buying it and the name and everything like that?
Well, what it is I grew up on the western slope of Colorado in a little town named Ridgway. And we grew up there and working on ranch and all that, and then sat there and went with the wife went into the military and met my wife over there. Of course, we weren't married at the time, we were just dating. I came back to the United States and we ended up meeting again and getting married, and we've been together now 29 years, I think. And we sat there and was living on the eastern slope of Colorado, had our horse business over there, and we ended up one day driving up here to look at this place, and we fell in love with it and been here 3.5 years and plan on staying here a lot longer.
Well, it is a beautiful place. I mean, you've got such an incredible view here, and if we can keep your hat on with that's Nicky behind you, right?
Yes, that's
okay. Nicky, and Nicky's not real happy he has to be in the stall, but we promised him he'd be on an episode of Homespun, so Nicky's going to stick his head out every once in a while. Now, so you met Birgit over in Germany?
Yes, when I was in the military.
Okay, and how old were you at that point?
17.
17, young and foolish.
Yep.
Hey.
and Birgit, how old were you at that time?
17, almost 18.
Okay, tell me about the first time you saw this Wyoming cowboy.
We don't remember.
We don't remember the first time. We just, we're pretty sure it was at a bar.
Okay.
I was the waitress in the bar that he went to, so that's where we met. But it wasn't anything crazy. We just got together.
Germany, pubs, I mean, those things go together. You had a couple Steins and some things like that. And so when you got back here, did you decide to move to the United States, Birgit, because of Myrle?
Yes.
Okay. And you decided to get married right away?
Well, it's a long story, actually.
That's okay. We got 30 minutes on Homespun.
Okay. So we actually both got married to other people first.
Okay.
And then
Wait. So you move over here for him and marry somebody else. That wasn't very nice.
No.
Oh, okay.
He got transferred, stationed someplace else. So,
okay.
And I was still in Germany at the time, going through my schooling. And we just kind of lost each other for 7 years. And then we got together again in the States after we got separated.
Okay.
And it was like coincidence that we found each other again, so
yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Serendipity.
I can tell the story a lot
A lot better?
A lot more colorful.
Well,
Okay.
What,
We call him Cowboy Myre.
what it is Birgit sat there and had stayed in contact with my mother. We dated for about 9 months in Germany. But what it was is she met my mother and they got along and everything. So after we had broke up, she ended up getting married to another GI over there, and they ended up coming to the States because he got transferred. And we ended up going through a divorce at the exact same time, even though we didn't know each other or hadn't seen each other. And then she sat there and let my mom know, and my mom let me know. So I asked Birgit if she wanted to come and visit Colorado one more time before she went back to Germany, and she did. And then 9 months later I married her because I couldn't get her out of the house.
Because I couldn't. You're supposed to say because I couldn't get her out of my mind.
Yes, that was it.
I knew it was something like that. It was.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was just interjecting and editing there. So you've had how many children?
3.
3 children, and what are their names?
John, Russell, and Christopher.
Okay, and they're all grown now and out of the house, and you're, I would say empty nesters, but I think it's empty ranchers, right? Something
Yes.
like that. And so 3.5 years ago, you decide that you guys are going to come up here and look at some property. Why the move away from Colorado?
You want my, the real reason? I really dislike Colorado.
Okay.
I grew up there my whole life. I never thought I'd ever leave Colorado. But the politics, the people, everything's changed. It's not the Colorado that I grew up in.
Okay. And who was the realtor that you caught that sold you this place here?
Actually, it was through a realtor that we had in Colorado, and she contacted a lady here so we could get the paperwork done. The realtor from Tracy that sold the place to us was Kay Pope.
Okay.
But I don't remember the realtor from Cheyenne. She basically just did the paperwork. We've
Sure.
only met her once.
Yeah,
Sure.
we dealt with Kate Pope from here in town.
Okay. And tell me what that day was like when you first came up here. I know you probably saw it on pictures, but actually coming up to walking onto this land, did you kind of pretty much know right away this is what you wanted?
It was like coming home.
I've been telling people that about me too. I've never nested until I got to Wyoming,
Yeah.
and then it was almost like I found a home here. So it's kind of a good story. Myrle, what about you? Same thing?
Yeah. I guess what I seen was the amount of work that we had to do, but it was well worth it. You know, the price was right. Everything was perfect about it. It had everything I wanted, so it was an easy decision for me.
Okay. And when you, what was the first thing that really attracted you to this place? I mean, there's so many things here. I mean, you've got the huge arena. First of all, let's talk about that. I mean, you've got how many square feet in there?
Wouldn't know the square feet. I guess I'd have to pull out a calculator. But it's 125 by 250 foot steel building,
Okay.
with a 111 by 220 foot arena.
And tell me some of the things that go on in that arena there.
Well, I mean, we've done.
I know
barrel
COVID
race.
has kind of put a crimp in that
Yes.
stuff, but normally, what goes on in the horse arena there?
Well, the winter time we're really busy. Okay, just because the weather in Wyoming, of course.
Sure.
And we do everything from team roping. Last year we started doing the ranch roping, which was a lot of fun. We do barrel racing. And just people come to ride just because they can ride in the arena. And I mean, all sorts of things. We do weddings, and they do their receptions in the arena. And
We did a graduation party last year.
Yep, we did a graduation party.
We've had a couple of barn dances.
Yep.
With a band.
And Myrle, you also teach in there too, don't you?
No, I ride my young ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you give like seminars or trainings or things like that?
I don't, but we have clinicians come from all over. We've had Les Voigt come from California out here. We've had some world-class riders come here and give clinics. And we've had a couple of trainers in and out of here over the last 3 years. We haven't found that perfect match yet, but we've been working on it. But mainly what we do is we breed and have babies, and then I sit there and try to get them sold before they're 2-year-olds. If they're not, then go ahead and I start riding them. I trained professionally for,
I don't know, 20 years?
Yeah, 15, 20 years. Showed mainly reining, and but I also did all the other events that went with them. Trained a lot of amateurs, and about 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, I got out of it and stayed out of it long enough now that I've got my amateur card back, and we're just going to get started again. But then I'll be showing my own horses.
Sure, sure. Now, so you really do a lot of breeding here also on horses, and so tell me a little bit about the security of your bloodlines here.
No, you get to do
Oh,
that.
I get to do that. What it is I've got, I started all my breeding out of one mare that we bought a while back. How old is she now? Red.
I'm thinking 15, 16, 17?
16, 17-year-old. What it was is she was a Doc Wrangler mare, and I really liked that bloodline. And then we've been crossing her with Gallo del Cielo studs. So I've got three, what I consider three really good brood mares, and we've got two other ones that are good bred mares. And we sit there and we've been breeding those with Reminick bloodlines, and we're pretty happy with what we've been getting so far.
And what's the strength of your breeding here?
Working cow horse reining cross. What it is the horses will do anything from, you know, team roping, calf roping, working cow horse, reining, versatility ranch horse, but their strong point is working cow horse and reining. Okay.
And when you were a cowboy, did you do a lot of the roping, barrel racing, things like this?
Not really. I mean, when I was a youth, yes, because we sat there and we were in like the Gymkhana series and the 4-H series and stuff like that. Rodeoed quite a bit when I was younger. Never really got into roping. That was never anything that I did in an arena. You know, it just wasn't something that we. Yeah, I guess what it was is when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, you had rough stock riders and you had ropers, and it was very rarely did they ever cross the line. So that was kind of where I was at.
That's good. Birgit, you grew up in Germany.
Yes.
You did not grow up on a ranch, obviously, in Germany, did you?
No, I grew up in Nuremberg, which, you know, is a very big town, city, I should say. So I just took every opportunity I had and was with horses, went out to the farmers and helped them milk cows. My parents always thought there was something wrong with me.
So you kind of were drawn to that lifestyle, that farm lifestyle, that ranch lifestyle. And do you think that prepared you a little bit for where you are today?
No. No, I don't know. It's very different lifestyle, and but I did do some rodeoing and stuff like that while I was in Germany.
Okay.
And so I had a lot of fun doing that for one season. And I guess I always dreamt of doing this. It was always, there was no question about it for me. I always wanted this.
And what do you find on this huge ranch? You've got 80 acres here, correct?
59.
59 acres here. And what is one of the biggest challenges for you? I have to pan off here and show Missy is kind of looking, and she wanted to, we promised her she could be on camera. So Missy, you're on camera now. You glad?
Hi.
Say hi. She just looks at me. Birgit, again, what's one of the biggest challenges here on a ranch of this size? And you've got so many things going on here, from weddings to events that are going on here. How do you keep it all straight?
I don't. I'm like one of the most unorganized people in the world. I just do what I can, but it is a lot of work, and I always say I need to be 30 years younger. But yeah, we just get it done. And when Myrle is home, you know, he helps a lot, and I try to have off and on. I get some high schoolers to help me, and we got one guy that comes just on Saturdays to help out with, you know, welding and all this stuff that I can't do.
Sure.
And yeah, I just do it, and then I fall in bed really tired at night.
Owning a ranch is not all the romance that it's portrayed sometimes. Tell me some of the daily chores that you have to accomplish here on a ranch.
Well, I gotta take care of the horses every day, so I have to feed them, and then I have to clean their stalls and make sure that, you know, nobody got hurt while they were outside or anything like that. And then water and drag the arena I do every day. Clean the barn area every day. And then we have the kitchen that we're getting hopefully ready to do a commercial kitchen here soon. So that kind of has to stay maintained, and we have the bathrooms in the arena, and yeah, I'm hyperventilating thinking about it right now.
All the things, because you've got wedding season coming up, don't you?
Yes, we do.
One of the outstanding, incredible features of this place is when you walk in and you see that great big metal arch, and it's a pathway that leads down to what you call the wedding pond, and people get married down there.
Yes.
And how did that come about?
It was more coincidental than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had people ask. The owners before us had a few weddings here, and we just started, you know, we took a lot of trees out, so we found the pond, and it was just pretty, and people were like, oh, we could have our wedding down there, and we're like, okay, we can do that. So we started mowing, and we keep improving it as we go along, because there's, you know, still a lot of stuff that can be prettier or something.
Sure. And from a photographic standpoint, it's one of the prettiest places I've seen. You've got you know, Laramie Peak in the background as they're getting married, and you've got the ranch and the trees, and we're coming into a season where everything is going to be absolutely green and lush and beautiful down there. So Myrle, do you actually do the weddings down there too, or do you just keep the maintenance for it?
I do the maintenance.
We need to get you ordained so you can actually do a cowboy wedding down there.
We do the maintenance, and I pack the arena ground for them so they can have their dance and reception in the arena. And every once in a while we get invited to go with them. But yeah, we just try to make it.
Oh, they're talking back and forth?
Yep.
Yeah. That's Missy.
But we just try to sit there and make it as special for them as we can, and do what we can to make it good for them.
That's awesome. So when they talk about having a barn dance, you really are having a barn dance here, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, people can go to your website and see pictures of the receptions that they've had there. And what is the address for your website, Birgit?
It's actually in progress right now.
Okay.
I forgot.
Well,
it's Rafter MD, Quarter Horses Arena and Event Center.com.
Okay.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
That's why there's going to be a tab on the Facebook page.
All right.
Because it's easier to find on Facebook.
Right. Well, it's absolutely a beautiful arena, and like I said, you're getting your commercial kitchen ready to go so that they can not only have catering in here, but they can actually prepare the food here. Correct?
Yes.
And so tell me a little bit about some of the events coming up for you guys.
Well, we had to cancel normally we try to have 3 clinics a year, and we try to do a spring, a summer, and a fall. Because of COVID, we did have to cancel our spring clinic. I haven't really set a summer or a fall clinic because I'm not really sure what's coming. So it's been a little slow. We did have, the NRCHA was going to have a Memorial Day show, which would have been this weekend, but that ended up not going any place because of the COVID. So we're just kind of, it's just a little rough to know what we're going to have this year yet. We've had one wedding cancel, or not cancel, postponed for a year, I should say.
Yeah.
But,
Because of the COVID?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because everyone's just a little afraid on you know, what the you know, when everything's going to open up, how it's going to open up, stuff like that.
Well, and the bride said she couldn't get in to get her dress fitted, and the guys couldn't go get their tuxes, and I guess there's, you know, a lot more involved with that other than just showing up here.
Sure.
I never.
Well, it's just like the horse show. What it was is we didn't want to be known for the first people in Wyoming to break the law, you know.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
No, probably not one of the better things to do.
Well, yeah, people are being delayed in getting their wedding licenses. People that want to get divorced can't get divorced. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that legalized things that can't be done because of the COVID virus and everything's closed up. I heard recently, have you heard this, that there's a rodeo that is now scheduled?
The Cheyenne Frontier Days?
Frontier
Right.
Days?
I know it's scheduled.
Yeah.
I don't think they've changed anything yet.
Okay.
You know, I think it'll go down to the wire with that.
Sure.
But it's one of the largest money-making venues for southern Wyoming, so it's, you know, I would think that the governor would be hard-pressed not to let it go.
Right. Now, if somebody's watching this and they want to learn how to ride, they want to get into owning horses and maybe having a horse. You guys do horse boarding here.
Yes.
Not only horse boarding, which is, I believe you said it was about $450 a month to board their horses, which excludes things like the veterinary and the medical costs, because medical costs for equestrian is astronomical at times. And I see that smile coming on your face there, Birgit. But yeah, it can get a little bit pricey. But if you've got a good, healthy horse and you're willing to pay that, you can board the horses here. Also, you've got something kind of interesting called a horse motel. Tell me a little bit about that, Birgit.
Well, we have about 45 stalls out back that are covered. They're, I think they're 10 by 10.
Yep.
And so if there's people traveling, going from one side to the other somewhere, and so they can just stop here and they can put their horses up for the night, or maybe even for a few days if they want to travel in this area and see things. In the wintertime, if the weather, if the high winds or the snow or something like that, it's a good spot to come here because we're so close to the interstate that it's just easy for people to stop here and put their horses up for the night.
Sure. Maybe you guys should open a motel here too, and
No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
I like horses.
Yeah. That's good, Myrle. That's good. So yeah, a horse motel. That's pretty outstanding. You've got an arena, a horse motel, a wedding venue, a place where people can come in and have like mini little concerts in there. It's quite an one-stop shop here.
Yes.
For places to come, and it's absolutely gorgeous here. So where do you guys see yourselves in 5 years?
I don't know. We're hoping that people are going to come to us more often about putting on some horse shows and stuff like that. And I just like we're helping out the 4-H and stuff like that. We want to be there for for the children and stuff. So
sure.
we will donate the arena, and we would like to see that grow a little bit more so you can support the youth more. And yeah, we just need to come up with more ideas of what to do here.
Sure. As I said before, if people want to come out here and learn how to ride, are you guys going to put a trainer on staff for that, or can you teach people actually how to do that?
Well, we used to teach people how to do that.
Okay.
I still try to help out sometimes if people ask me, but we're not charging for riding lessons or anything like that. We're just, if somebody needs some help, we'll help them out. If somebody has a trainer, we've had people come here with their trainers and rent the arena for an hour or two.
Sure.
They can do that, and we're still looking for a trainer that might want to work out of here and grow his business, because it would be the perfect facility for somebody that wants to have show horses, because it's so I can't say it.
Centralized.
Thank you. Located. That it would be really good for somebody to come here train out of here.
Sure. And for people like me, we come out of the Midwest, some of us come out of the East, some of us come out of the South, and you come to Wyoming, you actually need two things. You need a horse and a gun. So I know there's a lot of courses out there for your permits for guns, but so you teach people how to be cowboys. Is pretty much what you do.
Well, maybe not cowboys, but horsemen.
Horsemen?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
What it is I found that a lot of what's lacking, especially with the youth, is the actual all-around horsemanship mentality. It seems like they all want to go fast, or they all want to do this, or they all want to do that. You know, most of them just want to go fast, but they miss a lot of the basic horsemanship skills, the basic knowledge of what horsemanship should be, from everything from bits and leverages to saddles to girths to, yeah, a lot of things that just get missed in the programs that we have today, because most of those things have gone away. You know, it's just true horsemen there's a lot less of them out there today than there was 20 years ago or 50 years ago.
It just changed a little bit too.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think the safety thing is an issue too. You know, people have got to realize you're dealing with horses. You're dealing with you know, terrain. Sometimes it's not always the easiest to navigate. How safety conscious are you when you're out there, Myrle?
Well, I don't bounce like I used to, so I spend a little more time on the ground with the young horses than I used to. As far as doing anything different, I don't think I do anything different. I just do things a little slower now. I'm not sure about, you know, the helmets and all that kind of stuff. We don't require it, so I'm not. Yeah. Really haven't changed much.
No, we haven't changed too much with that. Now, I grew up writing English, so for me, I always used to wear a helmet when I was a kid, because, you know, and it's smart to wear a helmet, really. It's just that with the Western writing, it's just not very common.
Sure, sure.
And but yeah, so we do want to teach people a little bit more about the basics of the horse. Or I guess we want to teach, but we're kind of not doing that anymore. But
right.
Just so they know, you know, if you don't wear flip-flops when you're washing your horse, you know, wear your jeans, wear your boots. That way your toes don't get crushed. And
or at least they're still in the boot.
Yeah, or just yeah. So just, you know, some basic things like that to make sure, you know, you don't get kicked or you don't get bit. Yeah. And, you know, because these horses are heavy. Yeah. And, you know, even if they don't want to, they can really hurt you.
Yeah, and push comes to shove, they're going to win every time.
Yes.
Because of their girth and because of their weight. But somebody comes in and says, well, how much would it cost? Every dad gets a daughter that says, Daddy, I want a pony. Everyone. So, dads, if you're watching this right now, Myrle, how much is it going to cost for them to get a horse, saddle, boarding, things like that?
I mean, a lot of the things that I see is you get what you paid for, I guess, is one of the ways. Not saying that buying a $20,000 horse is gonna get you a good horse, but buying an $800 horse is definitely going to get you a bad horse. Okay.
Unless you know what you're doing, but if the dad buys his daughter a horse, then they should definitely be willing to spend a little bit more money and maybe have a trainer that will go with them and help them to give them the right information of what that child needs, because a lot of people, you know, think they're going to get a young horse for that little kid so they can grow up together, and that normally doesn't work.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and the little kid grows up and dad ends up taking care of the horse.
Yes.
That happened in my case. And you know, you've got your costs as far as your feed, your medical, your saddle costs, like we've talked about, can go from anywhere from $300 to $3,000 on just a saddle alone, depending upon what you want. what are some of the other? Well, medical. Again, if you've got a horse, you've got to provide for that horse's medical needs.
Assurance are constant.
You know what it is if you're going to run barefoot, no shoes, you're looking at every 6 to 8 weeks getting them trimmed. If you're running shoes, you're looking at every 6 to 8 weeks getting them reshod. You're looking at anywhere from
$120 to $150
for shoeing. You're looking at what, $30 to $50 for $30 to $60, we'll say, for a trim. You know, every 6 to 8 weeks, you're looking at saddles. You're looking at pads. You're looking at, you know, a colic that can happen. You're looking at all these things, and you know, to set a cost on it's kind of like setting a cost on your own child. What is it going to cost you to raise your child? You don't know. He could go out and break his arm tomorrow and have to get pinned or something like that.
Sure.
You know, but you know, my biggest thing is that if they're going to get a horse, then go ahead and take a trainer, take somebody with knowledge, find something that the child can get along with. You know, it doesn't help if the trainer can ride it well, but the child can't.
Right.
You know, and you know, go in the direction the child wants to go in. You can always change that direction, and if the horse is any good, the horse will change with it.
Right.
But
right.
you know, if the kid ain't having fun, they're not going to use it anyway.
That's correct. And it's not like owning a dog, that's for sure. It becomes part of the family just like anything else. And I think that's really important to understand. Well, it has been absolutely, I love coming out here every time I come out to this part of Wheatland, Wyoming. I can't believe we have this incredible venue here in Wheatland. And the horses are just absolutely incredible. I don't know about you guys, but there is nothing like it when I come into the barn and get a horse kiss or a horse nuzzle and smell the barn and just be a part of that. And so I'm looking forward to being Wyoming's newest cowboy here. I don't have my gun yet, but I've pretty much got my eyes on where I'm going to learn how to ride and become a cowboy here with the help of Cowboy Myre and Birgit. And so I thank you guys for being on Homespun with me today. And again, the address here is 210 Sabile Creek Road.
Yes.
Yep.
And we're right here in Wheatland. And you can go to their website, you can go to their Facebook site, find out anything that you need to know about quarter horses, arenas, weddings. They will hook you up. Yep. So thank you guys. One more question I'm going to ask you though. You guys work together. Myrle, you've come off the oil field because the jobs just weren't prevalent.
Yep.
And now you're a husband and wife. You know, you hear a lot about the quarantined husbands and wives.
Yep.
What is it like to work together in such a venture?
I'm sorry.
We've been together, working together, having businesses together for quite a while, and we've kind of figured out when to just keep our distance from the other person. You know, but it's like any marriage. I don't care if you're working together or if you're just living together. We do both. And there's times when she leaves me alone, and there's times when I leave her alone, because it's going to be a fight if you don't.
So it's just so what you're saying is really you just need to put each other in timeout for a period of time.
Yes.
Yeah, we agree to disagree a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good, and it works for you. You guys are a beautiful couple. It's a beautiful ranch, and it's just been a pleasure having you on Homespun. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter pat? the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid because this rover has crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. I'd have gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave those worries on the doorstep. Just direct those cute little feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that bitter bat and the happy tune that's your step? Life can be complete on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid because this rover has crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Mr. Rockefeller. Dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. I'd have gold dust at my feet on the sunny that